The today's topic is regarding anatomical snuff box. Can you see here? This is something known as the anatomical snuff box. We will see the boundaries, content, and the applied anatomy related with the anatomical snuff box. The anatomical snuff box is a triangular depression on the dorsal and the radial aspect of the hand. It is having medial border which is formed by the tendons of extensor pollicis longus. Lateral border is formed by the tendons of extensor pollicis brevis and abductor pollicis longus. Base is formed by the styloid process of the radius bone. Apex is formed by the meeting of the two sides, that is medial border and the lateral border. Floor is variable. It can be formed by the scaphoid bone or the trapezium bone. We can see here in the diagram. So these all are the content of the anatomical snuff box. But the major content is radial artery and the superficial content is cephalic vein, dorsal cutaneous branch of the radial nerve and the scaphoid bone. Let's know the applied anatomy related with anatomical snuff box. Fall on the outstretched hand likely to break radius and the scaphoid bone. So whenever there is a tenderness seen in the anatomical snuff box, it can be due to fracture of the scaphoid bone or by the radius bone also. So we have to know the blood supply of the scaphoid bone. Can you see here? The blood supply of the scaphoid bone is by the branch of radial artery. But the main peculiar features is the radial artery which is supplying to the scaphoid bone is from the distal aspect, right? From the lower aspect. So from the lower aspect, or we can say from the distal aspect, it supplies towards the proximal aspect. So by chance, if there is a fracture, it can be a distal fracture, it can be waist fracture, or the third number that is known as proximal fracture. Let's take the example of the waist fracture. It means whenever the scaphoid bone is fractured in the middle, only the distal aspect of the scaphoid bone will get blood supply, while the proximal aspect it won't get blood supply. It means that leads to a vascular necrosis of the proximal aspect of the scaphoid bone.